Welcome to the dojo, everyone. Today I want to talk to you about two complete opposites, science and spirituality. You've heard of science, or the science, as it's horribly and wrongfully portrayed these days. Many people think you should follow the science into doing what they think you should do, which actually wouldn't be a bad idea if in fact the science was completed under stringent testing conditions and put under intense amount of peer scrutiny. And then there's spirituality, or woo-woo, as it's horribly and wrongfully portrayed these days. Cards that will tell your future. Celestial bodies that will tell you if you should ask that woman at the Starbucks out right now or wait until something's in retrograde. But wait, are they really opposites or just different sides of the same coin? Okay, time out for the millennials and Gen Zers. I should clarify, a coin is a piece of currency that existed in the time before smartphones. I know that doesn't make any sense to you, but coins existed for thousands of years before becoming relegated to sock drawers and automobile coffee holders. Coins had two sides and each had a different image or engraving. In the time before smartphones, we often called them heads and tails. Okay, boomer. The thing is, these coins had two different images, but they were still just one coin. So why don't we look at science and spirituality as a coin? Heads. In theory, but not always in practice, science uses empirical evidence and the scientific method to make sense of the physical world. Tails. Also in theory, but not always in practice, spirituality seeks to explore the nature of consciousness and the inner workings of the mind to make sense of the non-physical world. Science and spirituality also share a belief in the power of consciousness. Heads. While science has traditionally viewed consciousness as a byproduct of brain activity, quantum mechanics has led a lot of legitimate scientists to explore the idea that consciousness may be a fundamental aspect of the universe. As rockstar physicist and well-known cat person Erwin Schrödinger once wrote, consciousness cannot be accounted for in physical terms, for consciousness is absolutely fundamental. It cannot be accounted for in terms of anything else. Tails. This same idea is reflected in essentially all spiritual traditions. Advaita Vedanta in Hinduism teaches that consciousness is the underlying reality of the universe. Old school Judaism would call it the great I am. Now, perhaps the most significant area of overlap between science and spirituality is their shared quest for truth. Sadly, the extremists on both sides would never claim the other is seeking the same, but they are. Both fields seek to uncover the mysteries of existence and to understand our place in the universe. Eckhart Tolle, famous spiritual author and former Hobbit, writes, "The truth is inseparable from who you are. Yes, you are the truth. If you look for it elsewhere, you will be deceived every time." Physicist and bagel shop inspiring Nobel Prize winner Albert Einstein believed that the pursuit of truth was essential to our understanding in the universe. He wrote, "The pursuit of truth and beauty is a sphere of activity in which we are permitted to remain children all our lives." Now me, I have a background in both. Born and raised Christian, eventually turned toward Taoism and Zen, I've studied all the major religions with an approach based on delight and respect rather than antagonism. But I'm also a scientist by trade, meteorologist to be exact, and an amateur cosmologist to the point of obsession. Like, I actually love both Star Wars and Star Trek. So one could say I have a slightly more than pedestrian understanding of both, and the more I submerge myself into the depths of both, the more I see just how they are two sides of, that's right, that mythological coin thingy I talked about earlier. But in order to come to this conclusion, which as a scientist I can't really say it's a conclusion, but more of a suggested point of view based off my personal experience and data collection, I had to let go of the belief that only one or the other was the true way of thinking. If you're a religious person and you can open your mind to the idea that your religious text was not the absolute word of God and that God might just be better revealed through observation and experience, well, you'll have unlocked a consciousness similar to the Dalai Lama and Pope Francis. So kudos to you, or however you say kudos in Italian or Portuguese or Tibetan. If you're a scientist and you can entertain the idea that there just might be something more to this world than physical and objective reality, well then you may have just unlocked a secret that was first conceived of by Einstein but was carried further by folks like Feynman and Bohr. So kudos to you, or whatever kudos is in German, or the Netherlands, and the Bronx, I think? Einstein once said, and is plastered on the bumper of my car, "Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind." It takes two sides of those likely mythological coin thingies to make up a coin. You can identify as being one side of the coin or the other, but you're still on the same coin. And if you think about it, that's pretty goddamn cool. Thanks for stopping by the dojo. If you really want to push your thoughts into science and spirituality, check out my video on the simulation theory. Use your mouse to move your simulated arrow to indicate a simulated place in simulated space to click on this digital reproduction of 4 dimensions. Right here. Go ahead. I got all day.